I watched my friend Sir Stanley closely as he spoke to me of his time as a prisoner of war. He's a hero of mine. He's strong and kind and knowing. He's seen a lot in his 86 years, and I hang on every word he says. I love to listen to his stories. Sometimes he mentions my name, addresses me personally, and when he does that, it draws me into his story even deeper. My name is Karen Worcester of Wreaths Across America, and on this particular day, we were discussing the fact that we've been given permission for 2011 to cover all of the 330,000 graves at Arlington National Cemetery. Sir Stanley was very pleased. Then, in a matter-of-fact way, he shared a story that changed my life. He was a young man away from home, engaged in the now famous Battle of the Bulge, and it was cold there in the Ardennes forest. His division was forced to surrender to the Germans. He didn't like that, and Corporal Watusick and a couple others managed to escape, but they were captured very shortly after that. Christmas Eve, 1944, and they were herded into boxcars and huddled together with the other prisoners of war. The train was carrying prisoners, but it wasn't marked as required by the Geneva Convention on the top of the cars, so there they were in the middle of the war, and they came under friendly fire by the Allies. Sir Stanley shared with me, you could hear the cars and the men being hit and the screaming. Here we were, we couldn't run or even move. And it was Christmas Eve. We're 19, 20 years old. What could we do? So we joined hands and we sang Silent Night to comfort one another. It was a terrible time. We listened as everyone in the other two cars were killed that night, and ours were spared. Then Sir Stanley said this, you know, Karen, that became known as the Christmas they never had. I started to cry, and frankly, I'm struggling now. I promised my friend and my hero that we would do all we could do to make sure they never missed another Christmas. We decided right then and there to make this our theme for 2011, the 20th anniversary of Wreaths being placed at Arlington during the holidays. A couple days later, in an emotional pitch to another friend who happens to be a Vietnam veteran, I shared Sir Stanley's story. This friend, who was always so stoic, let down his guard and tears ran down his cheeks, and he shared with me of his Christmas that he didn't have while he was in the jungles there in Vietnam. Now is the time to give all of our veterans this living tribute, the Christmas they never had. They should never miss another Christmas, and we need to show them and their families that we'll never forget. Please help us get started before it's too late. Go to www.wreathsacrossamerica.org and see how you can get involved.